What's up, Flipsiders? So today is Tuesday, October 31st.
31st?
31st.
Is it the 31st?
31st, because everyone's gonna have the poopies after the candy.
Oh my goodness.
And I am just getting off of work. Sarah spent the majority of the day with me at work today. And now we're going to go, we're gonna get some food. I know, we're super red, out of breath. Because we did just finish working out and this camera is extraordinarily heavy at the moment. But we are going to get some food. We're going to make like chicken
ranch wraps.
This is going to be really good. So we're going to get some food.
I'm going to wear my new apron.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be so cute. Oh my goodness. And then we're going to make it. She's going to make it while I put together tomorrow's vlog. And yeah, so you guys are heavy. So Sarah and I have been doing this thing. We're actually cooking our dinners. And by Sarah and I mean mostly Sarah. She's been doing a wonderful job.
He's only cooked one.
The thing is, she cooks, I do the dishes. That's kind of been our deal that we made. But what have we made? I made French bread pizza once for us. And
you made me that one thing. You made that hash brown.
Oh yeah, hash brown ham and melted cheese, which was super good.
That was good.
But she has made mac and cheese. What else? What else have you made?
I don't really know.
Just mac and cheese?
No, I made a lot.
I feel like it is more than that, but I cannot remember. It's
definitely more than that. I made...
You realize, according to the internet now, I've made more meals for us than you have, since you can't think of any more.
That's stupid.
Why is that stupid?
Because I've definitely made you more food.
There's no evidence, you can't even think of what they were.
Excuse me. I've cooked for you so many times.
You can't prove it. I cooked for her more than she cooked for me.
Come on.
It's like covered in ice.
It's the last one.
Oh my goodness. So Sarah and I never buy our milk or any dairy products really at Winco because for some reason it's stupid expensive. So we just come to Walmart and every time we come here, I try to get the ice cream that I like, the Halo Top chocolate chip cookie, and they never have it. Ever have it. And it's a scene. I make a scene every time. Every single time. Do I not?
You do.
So, they had it today. I'm very happy. We're gonna get some milk, right? And was that it?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna and a monster. And then we're gonna go back to the house and actually cook our food, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is planned, but our plans change rapidly, just like our wedding dates. Baby, you did such a good job.
Yeah, I didn't taste it.
It looks so good though. Thank you. But you lied to me.
Why?
You did not wear your cute apron.
Oh, go grab it. Go grab it. I'm still cooking.
Where is it?
It's in the hallway.
There's my baby. There she is, her cute little apron. I love you.
I love you.
You're so cute. So I know it's dark right now, but I'm actually driving home, and today's vlog took a really long time to render, so I didn't have time to render it, export it, and post it to YouTube before I left Sarah's tonight. But I had this ingenious idea because it had like 40 minutes left, 30 minutes left to upload to YouTube, and I need to go. It's already 2:30 at night, and it's time for me to be home. But I had a thought. I'm like, can't I just use my phone as like a mobile hotspot and then I can connect Wi-Fi through my phone while I'm driving home and upload my video as I'm driving home, and it worked! And the internet is like almost faster on my phone through the hotspot on the road than it was in the house, which is nuts! Technology is crazy. This is like the coolest thing. I'm able to upload my video as I'm driving home. I just think that's the coolest thing. Yeah, and I have unlimited data, so it shouldn't. Hopefully I'm not gonna get like charged like $1 million for this. But I'm currently on my way home. About 2:30 right now. Probably be about like 3:10, 3:15 by the time I get home, which is pretty standard. And then yeah, I'll check in with you guys before I go to bed because I do have some stuff that I kind of want to talk about. So I'll see you guys when we get home. So, I'm home now, and I just want to talk to you guys. I've actually filmed a couple takes of this, and I find myself rambling. And so I'm hoping every take I just kind of get more to the point of like what I'm trying to say, because I just want to kind of talk to you guys, because I've been wanting to kind of just sit and talk with you guys for a little bit since, well, for a while now, but my camera's just been gone for so long that I really haven't just been able to do that. But I wanted to talk about just all the nutty, crazy things that have been going on recently with the Vegas shootings and the hurricanes and the fires in California, and recently more recently yesterday the guy in New York who ran over like 15 people or whatever and killed 8 or 9 of them last time I heard. And it seems like every time you turn on the news, like something crazy is happening, and people are just so confused as to why all this is happening and like what to do. Like, you see so many people they're trying to find solutions for something that they don't know what the problem is. Like, for example, you see a lot of people in the government, they're just like fighting to get rid of guns so adamantly because they think that's the solution, and then somebody goes and kills a bunch of people with a car. It's like, well, you're gonna outlaw the cars too? Like, people are trying to come up with a solution to a problem that they don't understand. And really it's not so difficult to understand when you read this, when you have this. It all becomes very, very clear that, guys, evil is real, and there is evil in the world, and there is an evil being who causes evil. I mean, that's like his sole purpose. I mean, the Bible describes the devil as a roaming lion, seeking out whom he may devour. Like, he's out there, and he is looking to cause this kind of pain and hurt, and he uses this pain and agony to rip people away from God. That's his whole plan, guys. From the very beginning of time, he's been trying to take people away from God, to get people to hate God, and he has been taking and spinning all of these events and whispering into people's minds, well, if God was loving, he wouldn't let these things happen. And therefore they refuse to believe in a God, because I've talked to many people who say, well, I refuse to believe in a God who would let this kind of stuff happen. And it's just a shame, because we live in a society where there is no evil. And even if somebody does something clearly evil, half the population wants to accredit what happened to like a mental illness. Oh, he wasn't an evil person, he was just really sick. No, he was evil. Like, there are evil people and evil forces in this world. And until we as a society can acknowledge that, nothing will change. Nothing's gonna change. It's just gonna continue to get worse. And it's crazy, because Halloween just happened yesterday. It's November 1st, so yesterday it's Halloween. And all these people are wondering, why is this happening? Why is this happening? I don't understand. How could someone do such a thing? And they'll dress up as the devil and go to a party. Or they'll dress up as demons. And we as a society, I mean, we watch so many movies about the devil. I mean, there's the Exorcist. It's like the quintessential like devil demon movie. And there's so many movies about demons, and there's the AC/DC song, like Highway to Hell. Like, there's just, as a society, I feel like we've been so desensitized to the reality of the devil and how truly evil and terrifying he is when you're not under the protection of God. And because he's become fiction, almost, the idea of the devil and his demons have become fiction in our society to so many people because of all the movies and costumes and all this stuff. They can't understand when they see his handiwork. They don't get it. It's sad, really, because they're just lost. And I wish I could just make them understand that the issue is not guns. The issue is not getting more help for the mentally ill necessarily. I'm not saying that shouldn't be a thing, but that's not the solution. It's just trying to cover up a side effect of the real problem, which is sin. And in our society, we refuse to call sin sin, because from a very young age now, we're taught that if it feels right, do it. And if somebody tells you you're doing something wrong, then they're wrong. And who's to tell you what to do with your life? You know, unless you're a Christian, and then, you know, we don't want you to be yourself. But because we have grown up in a society that is so anti-sin, we just have no foundation of understanding when something purely sinful happens. When in reality, the killings, the shootings, the violence, it's all just a sin issue. The same sin that causes you to look at inappropriate things on your computer, and the same sin that causes you to hate someone like at your work, or the same sin that you exercise when you're going out there and having sex before you're married. Like, it's the same sin. It's all sin. It's all part of our wicked human heart. The Bible says that the man of heart is wicked above all things. And when we're not trying to counteract and fight this wickedness through the grace of God and His Word, and being able to have a relationship with God through this book, we're not going to have any defense against the wickedness of our own hearts. But people won't accept the fact that people are evil, and that people have just wicked intentions and wicked hearts, and that are just selfish and confused and angry and bitter against God, because there is sin that lives in all of us. And until we recognize the issue of sin, we'll never find a solution. There will never be a solution, no matter what is tried to stop the violence and stop the bigotry and everything that's going on. Whatever is put into place to stop that, it will fail until people realize that it is a sin issue. And the only way that a sin issue is going to be overcome is through the grace and the mercy of Jesus Christ. And until people come to that conclusion, until people realize that, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. And things are just going to continue to go sour. And, I mean, there's a verse here, let me pull it up. Now, Romans 1 actually talks a lot about this. And what's interesting about the first chapter in Romans here is that the phrase, God gave them up to blank, comes up several times. And it's basically talking about how the world is going to rebel, and the world is rebelling against God. And at some point, God's just like, fine, you want this so bad, you want to live your life, you want to figure everything out on your own, go for it, let's see where it gets you. And in Romans 1 28, it says, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a debased mind to do those things which are not fitting, being filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, already sounds a lot like our society now, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, evil-mindedness. They are whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, violent, proud, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, undiscerning, untrustworthy, unloving, unforgiving, unmerciful, who, knowing the righteous judgment of God, that those who practice such things are deserving of death, not only do the same, but also approve of those who practice them. Does that not sound exactly like our society today? I mean, it's just crazy how exactly that describes the state of our world right now, especially in particular America. It's just nuts. And so there's just one more thing I wanted to share. It's actually a verse from Matthew 24, and it's just Jesus talking about as we get closer and closer to the end of times here. Matthew 24, starting in verse 6. And it says, "And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." And what's interesting about the word earthquakes is actually the Greek word seismos, which also is, can be translated to tempest. So like storms on the seas, hurricanes. But it's only going to get worse, guys. And it's just important that we know why it's happening and where it's coming from. And guys, all this bad garbage and nonsense and just crud and evil that's going on in the world is exactly that. It's evil, and it comes from the evil one, and it comes from sin, and it comes from the rejection of God and the dismissal and the rejection of God's word and the holiness that He's called us to. And guys, you may be thinking to yourself, well, if God's loving, why would He allow these things to happen? Well, in the description, I'm actually going to link 2 videos. One is a reflect video that I did a while ago on exactly that issue. Why does God allow bad things to happen? And the second one is actually a message that Gary taught a couple Sundays ago in response to the Vegas shootings, where he goes much more in depth than I do in my video. Talks about for 45 minutes just that question: why does God allow these things to happen? And it was a great message, and it's a good listen if anybody is struggling with that question and wants to dive into getting some answers. But anyway, it is almost 4 o'clock now. I think it's actually past 4 o'clock. It's 4:10. I'm gonna go to bed, but I just wanted to talk for a little bit and just get some of that off my chest, because it's just heartbreaking to see people so fervently against the things of God, and then something terrible like this happens and they're just so confused when it's not confusing and it's not difficult to understand. Sin is sin, and until we get back to the place of calling sin sin and addressing sin as sin and evil as evil, then nothing's going to change. But what's cool, talking about addressing sin and sin as evil, there isn't just evil in the world. I mean, there's good also. And yes, the devil is real and there's evil. There's also a God, lest we forget that. And He is gracious, and He is loving, and He is merciful. There's an incredible peace that comes with knowing that He, in the end, is in control. And that for all those who are in Him, for all those who have put their faith and their trust in Jesus Christ, that even if tragedy were to befall us in this life, that this is not the end, and that our hope and our freedom in Christ is secure. And there's nothing that the devil can do to take that away from us. And that is a very, very calming and reassuring feeling, to know that God is sovereign in the end. Now it's just up to us, while we are here on this earth, to go out and tell other people about the good news, that they don't have to be subject to this wickedness and to sin, and they don't have to struggle, they don't have to be depressed, they don't have to be scared, they don't have to be wandering around just trying to figure out what's going on and being afraid, just going from one day to the next. They don't have to go through that, because Jesus has already taken care of it. He died on the cross once after He lived a perfect life as the perfect sacrifice for all of us. Now it's just a matter of believing in that, and then we don't have to live with our sin anymore. And we don't have to be afraid of what's going to happen. You know, I don't know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. And therefore, I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to be confused. I get it. And it's there for you to understand too, or for anyone else who's confused. The answers are right here. Just open it up, start reading. You'll find it. But anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm very tired. It's late. I'll go to bed. Good night, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see all you guys on the flip side.
I hate elevators, by the way. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I hate them.
It's probably not a great element.